And this is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of American Legion Radio, a special edition. Tonight, we are going to talk to Chris and April Morgan, the parents of CJ Morgan from the class of 2020 at West Point, who sadly died in a training accident at West Point on June 6, 2019. I can tell you, I remember exactly where I was when I heard that tragic news. How are you, Chris and April? How are you doing tonight?
Doing as well as we can.
Yeah, we're making it. It's 2 years out, and we're just trying to continue to keep living and doing the best we can.
Yeah, so important. Tell us a little bit about CJ. I did not have the pleasure of meeting him at West Point, but he was friends with a lot of people that we cover, such as from football. And tell us a little bit about him. He was an outstanding student and wrestler at East Orange High School in New Jersey, and then was doing tremendously at West Point, approaching his senior year.
Well, actually, he's from West Orange. So
West Orange. Okay.
So West Point, West Orange, all west.
All west, yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. I'll start off. CJ was one of those kids that just everybody just took to. He wasn't the most outgoing kid, but he wasn't the shyest kid. But he made sure that if he met somebody who seemed like they needed somebody to talk to, or he was the person to go up to them and say, "Come on, come join me, come hang out with me. Things will be okay." Like I told you earlier, we moved here from Chicago and he attended West Orange High School, so it was his first time being in the school district here. But you would never have known it just based off of the following that he had. He was well loved in our community and at our schools here.
Very good. Chris, do you have a story you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'll piggyback on what April said. He, among his amazing talents, was an encourager.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the calming presence in a lot of stressful situations in the various communities that he was part of, whether it was band, if it was wrestling, it was football. He was an encourager. He helped people feel loved. He helped people feel like they had a good friend in him if they didn't have any other friends. He had a lot of enthusiasm. He tried to add levity to a lot of situations that were stressful, to kind of let everybody kind of decompress and relax and just focus and have fun,
right?
Regardless of what it was, whether or not it was cutting weight, whether it was 2-a-days with football, conditioning, whether they're getting yelled at by the coach. He was somebody who kind of encouraged everybody and led everybody to have fun and led by example as a leader.
Right, absolutely.
Very good. Now, did CJ play football as well as wrestle at West Point?
Yes, and a funny fact about that, he was actually recruited originally to West Point for football, not wrestling. Wrestling is his passion. Football is what he was good at because he came up in a good Pop Warner League back in Illinois. So when he got here, he was good at the fundamentals of football. And because he cared about wrestling more than football, he played football pretty much zero performance anxiety and zero pressure. And he did extremely well with it. He played both ways. He played on the line. He was defensive line. He was offense and defensive on the line. He was underweight at 185 pounds for those positions, but because of his wrestling background, and he was able to move bigger boys, and because of the enthusiasm and again, zero performance anxiety, he did very well on the line. He played both ways. He only came out when the special teams were out there or at halftime. So he'd come out of football exhausted, probably 5 to 10 pounds lighter, but the football team was better for it.
Yeah, and an outstanding wrestler at West Point. Tell us a little bit about his wrestling career, if you would.
So CJ wrestled since he was smaller. He just did it during the seasons when he was growing up. He started taking it more seriously in 7th and 8th grade. He qualified for state in Illinois his 8th grade year. And when he came to West Point, when he came to West Orange, he played JV the whole time his freshman year, got up to varsity by the end of freshman year, and was on varsity sophomore, junior, and senior. He was team captain or team co-captain junior and senior year. He went downstate his junior year and placed downstate in the top 8 his senior year, which is hard in New Jersey because they don't have separate divisions. It's just one chamber, one division. The top 8 are the top 8 for the state.
Yeah, he placed fifth, right? Yeah,
He placed
placed
fifth.
fifth in state,
Yeah.
his senior year.
And he placed at the national tournament at the high school nationals, junior and senior year as well.
Yeah. What about
Well,
Westland?
quite a career.
Yes.
Now, you have put together a foundation to remember CJ and the CJ Morgan Foundation, and you are already providing scholarships to students who are looking at service academies and also ROTC programs, I noticed. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Yes, so right when CJ passed away, we started the CJ Morgan Endowment at the high school to help students with high leadership and character and community service, to offer them, book vouchers and scholarships to go on to college. So that's on the high school level. But for our foundation, we know that CJ's past, he wanted to go to the military. So if we can help service any students who wanted to continue on their military career at a service academy, at a college that are, with the ROTC scholarship, or just going there, without having a scholarship, we wanted to help that financially in some kind of way to help them continue on that career while in college. So we are currently raising funds for that as well.
And you have a big golf outing, third time on August 30th this year at the Rock Spring Golf Club in West Orange, is it?
Yes.
West Orange, and it's already sold out for golf, but yeah, brunch and a number of other ways that supporters could contribute to that event on August 30th. Tell us about it.
Yep, absolutely. So for those who don't golf or, who just want to have a laid back day, come on out for brunch. We offer brunch. We can fellowship. There's raffle items, 50-50 auction items, whole sponsorships. If you have a business or if you want to just showcase your family, you can purchase a whole sponsorship where we put the actual, like a poster on stakes next to each hole with the picture. And that'll just showcase that person's business. If you just want to donate funds towards the CJ Morgan Foundation, you can go onto our website, www.cjmorganfoundation.org, and click on donate that way. Or if you want to donate a raffle basket towards our auction, that'll help out as well.
Well, that's terrific. We will feature the website address and those opportunities. How does it feel in those days, the outpouring of support that you're receiving to remember CJ and also to build the foundation in his memory?
The outpouring is very uplifting. For us, this is our 9/11 memorial. It's something that you didn't want to happen, but we're trying to make the best of something tragic. And in that sense, just like the 9/11 memorial, we use our foundation to remember his life, celebrate his life. The golf outing is to celebrate his life and to try to do good for others who are on the same career track and career trajectory and life mission and purpose that CJ was on, by serving those in the military, those who serve those military families and those communities, those who are involved in those extracurricular activities, those who are about community service and serving others. We try to use this foundation as an instrument and a vehicle to help them on those pursuits and uplift their communities.
Right. I mean, it's always, this is the third, even though he's only been gone 2 years, but this is the third year that we're having this event. It's always an emotional day. It's great to see people come out and celebrate. But like I said, tell everybody, we hate that we all have to be here, but if there's anything that we can do to, get CJ's name in people's mouths, to let them know his story, to let him know who he was as a person, to get him to places where he would have been in his military career. That's my main goal in life right now, is to have his name, the CJ Morgan, spoken about in Germany or in Italy or in Afghanistan, because he was going to do infantry. He wanted to be boots on the ground. He wanted to go and, be all he can be in serve his country. And we want to make sure that in those spaces he's known and that we can help in any kind of way.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to ask, CJ was the oldest of your 4 children. Tell us about your family.
Well, CJ was the oldest. We had him while we were still in college. Our college baby would say. And then 4 years later, we had Colin. Colin's actually a rising, a rising cow at West Point. So he's following in his big brother's footsteps. So he's there now. And then we have our 16-year-old daughter, Chase. She's going into her junior year. She's also has her sights set on West Point, which is, we're open to it. We're helping her through those steps, preparing her now going to her junior year. And then our youngest is Cameron. She just turned 12 yesterday. So she's our dancer. No plans of West Point yet, but, we're trying.
She's also a good track.
Okay,
And she's a track star.
that's great to hear. Now, really an honor and a pleasure to visit with you tonight, hear a little bit about CJ and learn about how this foundation is doing well to remember him, and the big golf outing on August 30th coming up at the Rock Spring Golf Club in West Orange. You also have a brunch and a number of ways that people can support. We'll put that in our caption on this. And maybe a final thought for the day.
We just want to thank you for having us. But, what CJ always wanted, he wanted everybody to love each other. He loved all his teammates. He loved everybody who he encountered. And one of the things that he said, right before passing, a couple of weeks before he died, was everybody love everybody, one love.
Absolutely. And Chris, a final thought?
Final thought, you know what? I don't know if I can top what my wife said using his own words, but we just want to remember him.
Yep.
Well, thank you both, Chris and April Morgan, parents of CJ Morgan from the class of 2020, who tragically died in a training accident at West Point on June 6th of 2019. Great to visit, to meet you, and to hear about CJ tonight. And we're going to look forward to the August 30th golf outing and brunch over in New Jersey.
Likewise.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes.
Good to see you both. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio. We're at Squadron 135 in White Plains, New York. Have a good evening.